Okay, so we're going to start our workout with a warm-up. So we're going to start with toe to squat touches, and we're going to do each of these exercises for 30 seconds. So with this one, you just want to bend down with straight legs to touch your toe, and then you're going to come down into a squat and then stand back up again. So for the next exercise in our warm-up, it's going to be inchworms. So you're going to take your hands down to the floor and walk yourself out into a plank and then walk yourself back in. You can go as fast, as slow as you need. We're going to be doing this for 30 seconds. For the next exercise, we're going to move into pikes with toe taps. So from a plank position, you're going to reach back and touch the opposite toe, and then you're going to switch arms, and you want to think about piking your body, so lifting your bum up towards the ceiling and squeezing your shoulders together. Okay, moving into some thoracic bridges, you're going to come down onto the floor, sitting on your bum. You're going to push through your heels, lifting your hips up and reaching your arm up and over your head. Try making that stretch as big as possible every time, getting bigger and lifting those hips up as high as possible as well. Now the last thing we're going to do in our warm-up is going to be a bit of squat mobility. So you're going to take your feet about hip distance apart, point your knees and toes slightly outwards, and you're going to come down into a low squat. You can push your elbows onto the inside of your knees to stretch it out, and if you're able to, you can lift that arm up and point your fingers towards the ceiling. Switching arms, really feel the squeeze in your shoulders and get a nice twist through the spine. So stretch out those knees again. Just going to stay in that low squat a little bit longer, and your warm-up is complete. Okay, let's get into the main workout. So we're going to start with incline push-ups. So you're going to find yourself a surface that you can push from. You're going to have your hands about shoulder width apart, maybe just slightly outside of your shoulders, and you're going to, with your body in one long line, bring your chest down to the surface that you're pushing from, keeping your gaze about a foot in front of you, and keeping everything nice and strong. So thinking about engaging your core, your glutes, aka your bum, and also your legs. With this exercise, the higher the surface that you're pushing from, the easier it's going to make this. So you can opt for a kitchen counter, or you could use a wall, for example. Alright, we're done with the push-ups. We're moving into our second exercise. We're going to work on dips. So you're going to find yourself a step or a chair, and you're going to have your hands again about shoulder width apart, legs straight out in front of you, and you're going to bend your elbows towards the back of the room, coming up, squeezing the tricep, which is at the back of your arm, keeping your core nice and strong. Okay, last couple of reps here, and you are done. We're moving into our next exercise, which is going to be bodyweight squats. So for this one, you're going to take your feet about hip distance apart, turn those toes and knees slightly outwards. Think about keeping your chest up as high as possible and sitting back into your heels. You can work as slowly and as fast as you like. We're going to be here for 30 seconds. Okay, sticking with legs, we're going to work on alternating reverse lunges. So focus on taking a nice big step back. You want to aim to have your knees at 90-degree angles, and you're going to push back up through that front leg. Again, work as fast or as slow as you like. Just make sure you keep that chest up nice and high, looking out in front of you, and your core nice and strong. Okay, last few seconds here. And we're going to move down onto the floor. We're going to work on some side planks. So you're going to come down onto the floor. You have an option to be up on your hand or down on your forearm. I'm going to choose forearm. And you want that stacked underneath your shoulder. So this is your intermediate option. You're going to have your feet stacked on each other. The key thing is to have your hips reaching up towards the ground. The arm is optional. You can have it just on your waist, or you can point your fingers up towards the ceiling. Last couple of seconds here, keep holding it, and you are done. Staying on the floor, you're going to spin yourself around, and we're going to work on some core, which is going to be leg raises. So you can sit on your hands if you want to make it slightly easier, and you're going to bring straightened legs up towards the ceiling, hinging at the hip and trying to push that lower back into the ground. Now don't let your feet touch the ground in between reps. You want to try and keep them off the floor. Last couple of seconds, stick with it, we're nearly done. There we go, there's your rest. And we're moving into our last exercise, which is going to be dorsal raises. So sticking on the floor, you're going to come down onto your stomach, extend those arms out in front of you. And you're going to think about pulling your elbows back and squeezing your shoulder blades while you pull your chest off the floor. So you really want to peel your head up. An option is, if you want to make it harder, lifting your feet off the ground as well, like I'm doing here. And really squeezing the entire posterior chain, so all the muscles that are down the back of your body. Squeeze out those last couple of reps. You have a 1 minute rest coming. That was it, you are done. Go and have some water, towel off if you need to. You've got 1 minute, and I'll see you back here. Okay guys, we are back for round 2. In this round I'm going to show you a few different variations for the exercises to either regress them, make them easier, or progress them and make them harder. So back to our push-ups, you're going to be on that inclined surface. Now if you want to make it harder, you're just going to lower the surface that you're pushing from. If you want to make it easier, you're going to raise it up, and I'm going to show you an example of that in a second. So I'm heading over to the wall, everything else stays the same, and I'm just going to push up from the wall. Just obviously be careful you don't hit your head on the wall. This will just make it a lot easier for you, but if it might still be challenging. It was definitely challenging for me when I started out. Alright, done with that, we are moving over into our dips again. So as we did it before, legs can be extended out straight in front of you like this. You're going to bend those elbows to the back of the room and squeeze that tricep when you come up. Nice and powerful push up. If you're looking for a slightly easier option, you can always bring one leg in to support some of your body weight, or you can bring both legs in just like this and push up as well. So you're still going to be doing exactly the same thing, it's just that your feet will be supporting a bit more of your body weight. Okay, moving into our squats, so feet come hip distance apart. Make sure you're sitting back in those heels. This time I'm giving you a front view. Really think about when you're coming down into that squat, keeping those knees pushing outwards, okay? You don't want them coming in and knocking each other. If you find this challenging or you just don't quite have the mobility yet, you can always use a chair or a stool or even a step to sit on instead. So you're just going to sit back, and once your bum hits that step, you're going to stand back up again, just pushing all your weight through those heels and keeping your core and chest nice and strong and upright. Okay, heading back into our lunges, so we're going to be alternating legs. Nice big step back, and you're going to push up through that front leg, aiming for those two 90-degree angles. An option to make this a little bit more difficult is to bring your arms up above your head and really squeeze your shoulder blades back. Just going to challenge a little bit more of your balance and require a little bit more core stability. Keep it going, I'm just showing you a front view so you can see that my knees are parallel, so I'm almost thinking about pushing my knees outwards during the move, just to keep myself nice and stable. Alright, coming down onto the floor, we're going back into that side plank. Just make sure you're doing the other side of your body this time. Set yourself up on your forearm or your hand. This is the option that we did last time, but I'm also going to show you a couple of different ones. You can stack one foot in front of the other if you want to make this slightly easier, give you a bit more balance, or you can bend that bottom knee and lean on it, which will make it easier, but you can also keep focusing on pulling that hip up towards the ceiling, and you can always feel like this if you want an extra challenge. Okay, going back into our leg raises, so don't forget the option is to sit on your hands like this. We're going to have straight legs, they're going to come up towards the ceiling. Don't let your feet touch the floor in between your repetitions. If this is still a bit challenging, you can actually bend your knees and pull them in towards your chest, remaining sitting on your hands if you would want to, and this should make it a little bit easier. To make it harder, you can actually add this kick at the top. So once you get your feet towards the ceiling, you're actually going to kick yourself up, lifting your bum off the floor. Okay, last exercise before you get a break. So we're going into those dorsal raises again. Everything is exactly the same as before. You're going to be on your stomach, arms extended out in front of you, really pulling those elbows back as far as possible as you peel your chest off the floor and squeeze your shoulder blades together. Option is to add the feet, so you can peel them off the ground as well. It is completely up to you. Okay, that's it done. You now have a 1 minute rest. Go grab yourself some water and I'll see you for the last round.
You had me from the start. By the way you stared, the way you wrote up on me, yeah. Man, I felt your energy. Wasn't used to being loved and treated differently, yeah. But something went wrong, the signals got crossed, and now we're on completely different pages. Let's go where we were, where no one gets hurt. Right there, don't you stress the flow.
Alright, I'm not going to talk as much for this round. You know what you're doing now. All the progressions and regressions were in the last round, so the option is yours. Make sure you're challenging yourself. 7 exercises, 30 seconds of each exercise. I will see you at the end for our cool down stretch.
Baby, don't you, baby, don't you, baby, don't you switch up the vibe. Baby, don't you, baby, don't you, baby, don't you switch up the vibe. Boy, you take me on a trip, always up and down and back and forth in merry-go-round. I just wanna get it right, but when you go left, I'm stuck here feeling left behind. Cause something went wrong, the signals got crossed, and now we're going different directions. Let's go where we were, when no one gets hurt. Baby, keep it right there, don't you stress the flow. You're trying to pick the pace up, we should take it slow. Baby, keep your focus, don't you make me change my mind. If you love me, baby, don't you switch up the vibe. Baby, don't you, baby, don't you, baby, don't you switch up the vibe. Baby, don't you, baby, don't you, baby, don't you switch up the vibe. If you love me just like you say you do, if you kill him, you're gonna kill us too. Baby, keep it right there, don't you stress the flow. You're trying to pick the pace up, we should take it slow. Baby, keep your focus, don't you make me change my mind. If you love me, baby, don't you switch up the vibe. Baby, don't you, baby, don't you, baby, don't you switch up the vibe. Baby, don't you, baby, don't you, baby, don't you switch up the vibe. Boy, you had me from the start. By the way you stare, the way you wrote upon me.
Just a quick note for our plank. This time we're actually just going to do a regular plank. So you have an option of being on your knees. Make sure that your shoulders are stacked over your hands. You're not too far forward or too far back. And you're going to keep your body in a nice long line. Or the option is to be up on your toes. So try this if you can. And if you're struggling, you can always drop down to your knees. The key here is to think about pulling your head in one direction, pushing your heels back in another, keeping those shoulder blades pulled together, and you want to keep your core nice and strong. So think about drawing your belly button in towards the back to your spine, keeping your bum squeezed nice and tight, quads squeezed nice and tight, and you're done.
Baby, don't you switch up the vibe. Baby, don't you, baby, don't you, baby, don't you switch up the vibe. Baby, don't you, baby, don't you, baby, don't you switch up the vibe. Boy, you take me on a trip, always up and down and back and forth in merry-go-round. I just wanna get it right, but when you go left, I'm stuck here feeling left behind. Cause something went wrong, the signals got crossed, and now we're going different directions. Let's go where we were, when no one gets hurt. Baby, keep it right there, don't you stress the flow. You're trying to pick the pace up, we should take it slow. Baby, keep your focus, don't you make me change my mind. If you love me, baby, don't you switch up the vibe. Baby, don't you, baby, don't you, baby, don't you switch up the vibe. Baby, don't you, baby, don't you, baby, don't you switch up the vibe. If you love me just like you say you do.
Alright, nice work guys. Now's the easy part. So you're going to lie down on your stomach, hands down beneath your shoulders, and you're going to push yourself up into upward facing dog. Really think about drawing that head up as nice and high.
We should take it slow. Baby, keep your focus, don't you make me change my
From there you're going to wrap your toes under, push yourself back into downward facing dog, and you're going to think about trying to get your heels onto the ground here and pushing your bum up nice and high to the sky.
Baby, don't you switch up the vibe.
Nice work. From there, you're going to bring your right leg forward into a low lunge, unhook that back toe, lean into your front leg, and you're going to raise your arms up above you. Good work. We're just going to switch sides. So left leg comes forward, lean in, and you're going to reach up and above. Man, I felt your energy. Wasn't used to being loved and treated differently, yeah. But something. Okay, coming up to standing, we're going to take our legs wide, keeping them straight. You're going to run your hands from your left to your right toes. Let's go where we were, when no one gets hurt. Baby, keep it right there. Don't you stress the flow. You're trying to pick the pace. Roll yourself back up. You're going to take your hands up above your head, lean over to your right. And over to your left. And then you're just going to take your hands down towards the floor, touch your toes, the floor, whatever you can reach. And you are done. Thanks so much, guys. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you again in the next video.